Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are. It's time for the weekly RFK Tech USA live stream. And in the one corner, we have Zero Cool. He's the coolest and coolest and coolest. And in the other corner, we have the SMT, the biggest YouTuber on the block. What is up, guys? How are you doing? Are you scared of the magenta that's surrounding you right now?
Oh, there's a lot of magenta. So much.
Yeah. There's so much magenta that you're foaming at the mouth. Oh, jeez. So how are you doing tonight?
Foaming at the couch. That's what we're doing.
Foaming at the couch? Well, I guess that's better than not foaming at the couch. Foaming at the mouth. So what's up there, Big Zero Cool?
Nothing much, man. Just chilling.
Chilling. Yes, everybody, and we're bringing you a T-Mobile live stream edition. Yes, and I promise I'll try to be a good boy tonight. Yeah, as you all know, I'm really not a fan of T-Mobile. I don't like T-Mobile, but you know what? I would say 65%. Well, we actually got a poll. I think I posted it, did I? Yeah. So I did a poll and said, hey, what do you think? So would you like me to do a topic on T-Mobile on Wednesday? 58% said yes, 41% no. So, hey, so I said, okay, we'll give the viewers what they want. So we'll give you a T-Mobile show tonight. So, and I want to say thank you to everybody who's donated for Super Chats in the past. And I want to thank the members, Baby Yoda, Jason D, and Carlos, my 3 members. Also, who's ready for a giveaway? If you guys share my channel and get me up some more subscribers, we get up to 1,200. I'm going to give away $50 on the 17th next week. So, hey, make sure you subscribe today. Subscribe because you won't get a chance at the giveaway because, I limit 6 days for subscribers to chat. So if you can't chat and pick your number when we spin that wheel, you won't even get a chance. So make sure you become a supporter. Subscribe so you have a shot at winning that $50. So we got to get that up there. Let's see. Are you foaming at the mouth? Yeah. Would you like to see me do a topic? There we go. I already did that. Just waiting. Yeah, SMT's live was a bomb. It blew up and spread all the cheer and joy to everybody. Hello there, MS. Hello, Troy. Lavendy's here. Beautiful, sunny, free Florida. Troy says it's dark. Here we go. I would say Verizon Wireless has the worst leadership, not T-Mobile. T-Mobile is not bleeding thousands of subscribers and no end in sight like Verizon Wireless. Ooh. I'm not a fan of current T-Mobile CEO, but by far he is not the worst since the leadership is bringing in customers and shareholder value unlike Verizon Wireless CEO. Okay. Now that's a hot take. Pancake. There you go. So what do you think of that? Yeah. Tech Guy 32 says at the end of the day, it is AT&T Verizon going to gaining customers, not Verizon. Okay, well that sounds promising there. Hello there, Michael and TJ. How you doing? T-Mobile has nothing over Verizon. Yeah. Mike Issue or Mike Filter. Yeah, I got a new soundboard at voice enhancer and all that good stuff. So yeah, it helps with the quality of the voice and everything like that. And alternate realities here. Awesome. So what do you think, Zero Cool? What do you think of tonight's topic?
I think we got a good discussion. We got some good topics, some good viewpoints to kind of hash it out. And
now if we just keep the skunk apes away.
Let's see what T-Mobile needs to do to be like in the #1 spot, like where Verizon is. We'll see.
Yeah, I think I hear the skunky. Where's... Oh, crap. I think he's hungry. Look out, everybody. I think he's hungry. What you got there in your picture there, SMT? What is that? Is that scallops I see?
Mine is the mine's the T-Mobile one. Zero Cool's got the scallops.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for some reason it doesn't show your names underneath the... Oh, when the comment goes up, makes your name disappear. Why does it do that? That's crazy. It's nuts. T-Mobile needs to improve the network first, then hire fancy schmancy CEO.
Like Randall.
T-Mobile does need improvement. I would say currently they are not the worst. I have seen a company just allow subscribers to leave en masse without course correcting. Wow. That's crazy. What do you think of that, SMT? What do you think about people leaving a quality company? Isn't that crazy?
People are leaving because they're cost sensitive, or they're looking at the networks as being close enough, right? So they're going to go with a better deal. So, T-Mobile can offer them a nearly comparable experience, or pretty close, or as good. Switching to save money makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe there's some markets that are problematic for Verizon that haven't upgraded.
Well, we do know that. Yeah, the congestion and stuff.
Yeah. So that makes sense.
Those 1366 only sites are like atrocious.
Right. So if a customer is seeing a lot of that, they got to explore their options.
Yeah, that's true. So you think it all turn around once we get nationwide N77 at 200 megahertz on every single site to Verizon have? Where do you think the tables will turn?
At that point, customers, if they like where they went, like, why would you go back? You would still save them money. Now, if there's a measurable difference in the quality of networking, then you explore options of maybe going back or something like that. But why would you leave a good network if you're paying less, right? So I think that's kind of what it hinges on.
It has nothing to do with Verizon awful customer service or inconsistent network experience across the nation. I don't know. Blaze, welcome. Greg, I just paid Verizon bill $449. Worth it for the network. Yeah, I agree. I don't mind paying the good old price. Ricky got a voice tune on. Dude sounds half an octave deeper. Yeah, that's the mic enhancement and everything. So hopefully this live stream will hold up good, because as you guys know, if you saw my tweet that I did, Verizon is upgrading my N70 or my site right here at the house. So they're going to be adding N77. They're going to add the 4x4 antennas on there for the 13 and 66. So that'll make the quality get even better, which the site 13 to 66 30 megahertz site is awesome. I mean, it's awesome. So rocking with the Verizon home internet, I moved the box up higher up and away from the other stuff, so hopefully I'll get a better signal and everything. So far the speed test is good.
Yeah.
And I still got my hotspot. Well, where'd my hotspot go? Oh, the hotspot on my phone is not on for some reason. Here, let me turn it back on. Wow, that was just so... Up until this point, I'm on Verizon home internet exclusively. 75 down and 15 up. Well, it's not even 15. It's probably 10. It goes down to 5 at times. So with them working on the site, my service is not as good. It's starting to be half like Comcast. Not 100% like Comcast, but half like Comcast. So even with this Verizon site that's in bad shape right now, being butchered up by the technicians and getting upgraded, it's still performing better than any day than the Comcast was. So we're definitely happy about that.
Gotta love cable, dude.
Screw cable. I'm going to do a speed test real quick here and just see now with both of them connected. Let's see what we got here. 22 ping. There's 75. 65. For some reason, it's not merging the two together. Usually it does the Wi-Fi and the Ethernet together. It bonds them together. That's what it did last week, but this time it's not. And there's 10. So I got 10 upload right there. And I would say the live stream is good. It's doing a lot better than my past Comcast live streams. So what do you think? So audio quality is good. It looks like the picture's good. I got a new 4K camera coming, webcam, so we'll have that on next week's live stream, hopefully. Uh-oh. Zero to coolest. Yes, yes, yes. Just ahead of Ricky, sounds like you have auto-tune on my boy. Auto-tune. Oh, jeez. He be sounding like T-Pain. T-Pain? Oh, my gosh. You're going to start making me foam at the mouth. Magenta foam out of the mouth. That's right. I just got Optimum Fiber, and it's amazing. What is Optimum Fiber? I never even heard of that. Is that like a reseller? Maybe are they reselling like Verizon?
That's Altice.
Oh, that's okay. Altice.
Suddenlink,
okay.
Optimum, Altice. I think they're all owned by the same company.
Oh, okay. That's great. Well, hopefully my fiber will be coming here soon, like this spring. I talked to the nursing home staff and I said, hey, are you guys going to upgrade to fiber when it comes? She goes, yeah, just for you, Ricky, because we love you. So it looks like I'm getting fiber here at the nursing home. Isn't that nice? Then I won't sound like toilet. Edgardo, hello there. I don't work for T-Mobile, but I am an indirect that deals with them. A great chunk of the new customer subs reporting from Verizon, they are willing to give it a shot. Wow. That's amazing. Especially for anybody that qualifies for military or 55 plus plans. Cable internet quality is going to depend on the local market provider. Yep, just as with the carriers. Yep. There's Verizon that works horrible in some areas, and there's Verizon that works good in other areas. So, and we got Baby Yoda in the house. Thank you for being a moderator, and we are live and direct. It's your boy, always real, never fake, RFK Tech USA Baby in the house. Thank you, Baby Yoda. I'm only on to 100 by 100, but it does everything I needed to do, especially no reason to pay the gig because I'm moving in a few weeks, and I keep the service for 365 days a year. Well, congratulations there, buddy. That is very, very awesome. Oh, we got a first super chat of the night. $4.99 there. Thank you, Steven. Thanks for supporting the channel. Yeah, I just spent $50 on StreamYard. I spent $15 for my music, so I'm going to get copyright striked. For some reason, the billing payment didn't go through. That's why that one live stream didn't get through. They kept flagging it, demonetizing it, and I was like, what's going on? So I went and looked at my account, and for some reason, the credit card charges didn't go there. So I paid $15 on that so that the sound is royalty-free. So that's all good. So we got that all fixed. So hopefully no more problems there. Okay, so we said hello to everybody. And also, too, if you want to donate by PayPal, you don't want to give part of the money to YouTube because, they take 30% of your damn money. That's painful, ain't there, SMT? They take 30% of your damn money. I think he went to get a piece of pie. That's what I think. All right, so let's get on with talking about T-Mobile. Yeah, so here we go. So myself, Zero Cool, and SMT, we come up with a whole bunch of things from our experience because SMT's the big YouTuber, so he's done a lot of research on everything, and he knows T-Mobile pretty well. I know T-Mobile a little bit. I'm not T-Mobile specialist, and then we got Zero Cool in the house. Well, he knows them very well, very, very well. So we put our heads together and come up with all this. So, of course, we said top 10 things that T-Mobile needs to do to stay in the wireless competition. So instead of just narrowing it down to top 10 things, figure, well, why don't we do this? Why don't we just make categories and then subcategories? So that's what we did. We did leadership and CapEx, marketing, network, and rate plans and services. So that's what we're going to talk about here. So first off, let's talk about the leadership. As some of you have already commented here, leadership. Think before you do. Sometimes it seems T-Mobile has done things before they thought it out really good. Now, what their exact reasoning behind it, we don't know. But what do you think, Caleb? What do you think the reason sometimes they do things without even thinking about it first, and then they realize later that they made a mistake?
I mean, sometimes you have like focus groups. You know, sometimes you can get customer perception. I just think, you know, it would be interesting to kind of do some more, you know, feedback, you know, related to pricing plans, related to, you know, then carrier moves that they have to say, hey, you know, maybe a customer doesn't like this. Maybe they're not satisfied with a particular plan. Maybe they used to like the plan that they've had. You know, maybe they like the simple choice plan that they were on, and maybe they didn't want to move to Magenta Max. Maybe they don't like the new taxes and fees and stuff like that are on
right.
Plans, right? So it's sometimes customers have those pain points.
Yeah, that's true. What do you think, SMT? What do you think about leadership, thinking before they do some things with the company?
Two main things like stick out of my mind. The one thing is bringing back real uncarrier events and like real uncarrier moves. I know they name them uncarrier, but they're not really.
Right. I think the name is stupid myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like if they could try to bring back that spirit, but actually doing uncarrier stuff instead of just calling it, you know, and it's not really a follow through of anything uncarrier.
Right.
So
like maybe just a news announcement, you know, calling it a carrier. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. And then the other thing I thought about was like some of the statements that they make publicly, which make them lose credibility. Like, for example, like when Neville said that C-band was going to need 2.5 times the tower density as N41. And like,
right.
And like, that's been completely debunked. You know, it's been completely shot down. I mean,
right.
Even like someone like myself, who's basically a caveman, I can go and take my phone and test power sites that both channels, you know, on them, and I can test it for myself, and clearly it's not the case. So like right now, that like questions their credibility or their chops as network engineers and network leaders. So you know, stuff like that is just, it doesn't help them. They lose credibility because of things like
right. Like if you're going to do a jab, make sure you're going to hit them, right?
Well, just be factually accurate, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, what do you think about doing some like more polls and surveys to the customers before they do something to say, hey, what you guys think about it? Kind of like what we do here in the YouTube channel. You know, when we do these polls and we do them on Twitter and YouTube and stuff like that and ask what people think, because we want to mold our channel around the viewers. Well, T-Mobile needs to view or get the same perception. They need to get the customer input to what they want and everything. So too. The company went to crap after John retired. That was T-Mobile's biggest mistake. They lost John. Well, I don't know.
Was my mic okay, Ricky?
Yeah, I heard you.
Oh, okay. I don't know. They were saying that my mic sounds weird.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah. You sound good. Yeah, everybody thinks he was great. I don't think he was that great. I think he was just too much of a puffer. You know, he just puffs up. Look at me, I'm big and powerful. You know, I don't know. That's just my perception. But that's the thing. People have a different perception on it. I mean, some people perceive me as a T-Mobile hater, which I really don't hate them. I just don't like what they've done and some ways they do things and everything. So, and you know, of course, I demand more perfection than a lot of people do. So if I'm going to do a video call or live stream or a phone call, I don't want a bunch of drop calls, and I want to make sure that if I do, video conferencing or anything like that, that it's going to work, and I don't have no problems. But in my experience in my area, T-Mobile has just not worked out for me. When I went to CES, I went to two different states. I went from here to Vegas and back, and the whole time it was trash. I know that was what 3 years ago. So a lot has changed and improved since then. So, and what I'm actually thinking about doing is getting Google Fi again, because they did lower their prices. So I'm thinking about buying a Google Fi phone, get like a S22, get another S22 Ultra and set it up on Google Fi, because I think they got a special right now that if you get their rate plan, and you can do payments on the phone and all that stuff. So I'm thinking about doing that, because as you all know, my Note 9 took a crap. It took a dump. So yeah. So my Note 9 has failed me. The screen totally went green. It's down the toilet. So I'm thinking, well, I still use Dex, and I like using Dex out of my Jeep when I'm at work, so I do my paperwork and reports and all that stuff. So I'm thinking about just getting a second phone as a backup. Plus, also, I just did Android 13 beta for my S22 Ultra, and I tried to fly my drone today. Guess what? The DJI app does not work with Android 13 beta. So until they fix the app, I can't even fly my drone. So that's why another reason why I want to get a secondary phone, just backup too. So use it for Dex. Plus, like when I'm in beta testing with this, I can still use the second phone that still has the 12 on it. I can still fly my darn drone. So that's what I'm thinking about doing. So that's kind of interesting there. But so on with the rest here. Letter B here. We got do more research and studies. Well, we kind of talked about it already. Do more research and studies. So Zero Cool, what do you think about research and studies? How much information do you have and that you can talk about what T-Mobile research and studies? Do they do a good job of researching and studying things, or they just throw it out there and test it and say, oh, that didn't work? Throw something else, say, oh, that didn't work. Throw something else, oh, that worked. What are they doing? What do you think?
I think it's yes and no. I think, when they bought the Layer 3, I think they know that they wanted to provide a television product or video product to customers, right? But I don't think they did enough viable research to make it viable and last, and they went with YouTube TV instead. Some of the stuff that they've been doing, such as, they were I have to come and give them credit, the first to a standalone 5G cloud-based core. It doesn't work with all that great except for Volnar, but, because not all the sites have all the radio gear on it yet and everything, but, I think they are first to a lot of things. They are first, right? But the implementation to actually get it rolled out, I think that's what they need to spend more time researching and doing. Just because you buy a new car doesn't necessarily mean you know how to drive it well. So.
Oh yeah, that's true. Somebody said there's some static in here or something. I was just wondering if that's coming in off of my mic or something. Maybe my mic's too high or something. It's picking up the fan on my laptop next to it. That may be the static you're hearing or something like that. I could do that too. I could turn off the fan. I got it on high speed on my laptop to keep it cool, because it likes to get hot a little bit since it's so old. There, I just turned the fan down. Of course, my air conditioning unit's right there too. But it's not too loud, but maybe just the sensitivity on there. So just let me know if the static went away. What do you think, SMT? What do you think about that? Do more research and studies? What do you think?
I don't see how you could lose by doing more research and studies. Doing your due diligence, homework, and research on different frequencies and different technologies. One of the things that I wish that they would investigate more and explore is millimeter wave. Right. That's going to be a huge, network asset and technology for all mobile networks. And for a company that's going in really heavy on fixed wireless, like at some point, I think they got to be looking at that like it's something we should look into large scale. So I think maybe some of that kind of comes into play there. I would like to see them adopt more of maybe some innovations in that respect, because I think it'll help their network a lot. But they do have this old fashioned way of thinking. It's like, oh, millimeter wave is tough, millimeter wave is challenging. Well, how do you make it better? You know, how do you enhance it? Like, are you gonna just sit there and say it sucks and never use it when it's like the truest capacity layer you can possibly have? Like, how about we develop ways to make it better? You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I agree with that statement. Yeah, and think if they have more time focusing on their own issues and things rather than worrying about what everybody else is doing, especially when you're challenging somebody else and, you know, it backfires on you. That's just crazy. So the next letter we have here is outside sources and consultants. So do you think the leadership should have more or less? And Zero Cool, what do you think about outside sources and consultants? Do they even use outside sources or consultants to help them with their network and business practices and all that kind of stuff? What do you think?
I mean, there's vendors and stuff, but I think there's, you know, a lot of the stuff is done, you know, can be done internally, but I think it's important to always get outside help. You know, depending on what you're working with, you know, if it's like, if it's spectrum management or, right, you know, that could be something, or it can be anything such as, you know, the best way to spend capex. You know, I don't know if they're working with any consultants about capex funding, or if they're just, you know, solely, you know, relying on the CFO. So I think it's important to look at outside parties.
Awesome. What do you think, SMT? What do you think about outside sources and consultants? Do you think that would help them gain a better network and business practice if they have some consultants come in and say, hey, you know, maybe they'll pay attention and listen, and maybe they'll say, oh yeah, maybe we pay somebody outside to come in and look at things and, you know, do the pros and cons, all that, and maybe they'll understand that, hey, yeah, we could do this better, and this better. What do you think? You think that could help improve?
Yeah, sure. The what starts to happen is, like, if you have the same people internally doing all the talking, you start getting this echo chamber. You don't get any fresh eyes on the problems, so you think like everything's normal, right? So like here's what, like, this is a conversation I had with one of my student teachers that I used to work with back in the day. I was like, look, man, when you're in a room where people have been farting in it for like 2 hours, eventually you get used to the smell of the fart and you think that's normal, right?
Oh dear.
But then like go out of the room and you're like, oh wow, it doesn't smell like farts out here, this is crazy. And then you go back in and you're like, oh, this is gross. So like you end up getting used to the thing that you see every day and all the time. Sometimes having that new perspective, a different angle, could present like new solutions, I don't know, new approaches, a fresh, so, you know, I don't know, like the way I just look at it is you get different sets of eyes to view the problem differently. They can also develop different types of solutions. You know, that's kind of how I see it.
Let's just say the windows are thick. The windows are thick, bro. With the parts.
Oh God, get struck by lightning here. All right, so letter D, treat your employees good and authorized retailers. Wow, what do you think about that? Do you think leadership has been bad on that? I already know what SMT is going to say. What do you think here, SMT?
The issue with the retailers is really bad. Really, really bad. The way that they've handled that situation with Sprint, I don't know how you handle a good merger. I've never actually seen it done properly.
Yeah, they're kind of messy, huh?
But you got it better than this. I mean, these people, they're like, they
Yeah.
have no options of where they buy their cases from. They have no options of like the terms of the compensation. They lost a lot of money. They I don't know, especially Metro. There's a lot of weirdness going on with Metro. So
Oh yeah.
I think they need better relations. I think, you know, when it comes to just the owners of and operators of those Metro stores, plus the retailers. I mean, it needs to be better than that, because right now it's leaving a black mark on
Oh
that
yeah.
hard merger. You know what I mean? With store closings and stuff, job losses, it's just adding to that. So the optics are bad, and you want to kind of clean that up a little bit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What do you think, Zero Cool? Do you think they're treating employees good, and what do you think about the poor authorized retailers?
So the promise of the merger that was echoed on day one, it was we're going to be jobs positive and we'll add jobs from day one. That obviously has not happened. I get there's redundancy in jobs. I get that, but
Mm-hmm.
the issue is that even the during that conference call. I mean, Sneed, you remember that the CEO said everybody will have a seat at the table, right?
Yeah, he lied. He absolutely lied.
Yep.
Yeah,
You're fired.
That has not happened.
You're fired. You're fired.
So yeah, as Donald Trump says, you're fired, right? So I think it's good. I think it's a fallen promise, including with authorized retailers. There's been so many that have been left, so many Sprint stores that have closed that have not converted over to T-Mobile store.
Yeah.
That's
sad.
Right. There's just a lot of things that's been happening. There's been job losses, job cuts, and stuff. I think this is not good. Whereas, it would the narrative would be different if you had a monthly report saying this is how many jobs we added, but we don't see that. We see the exact opposite.
Right. Absolutely. And so now we're to letter E. Stop acting like clowns. And the reason I put that in there is just from the past. I mean, remember when the merger happened and there was doing all this crazy stuff? They were dancing, in the stores and just acting fools. And I just think that makes a unprofessional image, and it's not really good. I mean, some people eat that up and they like it, but so I just think it's like they're acting like clowns. Some people may love that, but what do you think, SMT? Do you think all that kind of stuff, acting like clowns and stuff like that, do you think that makes their business model and their professionalism of their company, do you think that makes them look bad, or you think people love that?
Well, I don't know. It doesn't seem to be impacting their growth. I mean, they're getting a lot of customers, but I think there is, when you look at the competitors, we don't see those things at TNT or Verizon.
Right. Exactly.
So if we consider, I mean, do we consider T-Mobile to be the golden standard of the customer experience in a store? See, that's
no.
That's how I'm looking. Am I likely to go to T-Mobile because they're twerking and wearing onesies at the store?
No.
Thanks, Chris.
That's a good one.
Make sure to tip your waitress on the way out. Yep, the zing.
Oh, don't get struck by lightning when you walk out the door either.
I mean, I could tell you, if I walked into a T-Mobile store and I saw TikToks being made, I mean, that's a bad look, man.
Oh, boy.
I mean, I'm not going to say anything to them, but I'm not going to hang around. I'm probably going to leave.
Yeah, I think I'll run away. Run away. What do you think here, Zero Cool? What do you think all this acting like clown stuff?
I think,
does it kind of embarrass you when they do all that stuff, or do you think that's cool?
I think the 5G monikers, such as the dinosaurs, the speeding cars, the Play-Doh, the whatever. I learned about all that crap in first grade, and I don't need to learn it now. You're right. If you want to explain what 5G is to me, use some real terminology and not that.
That's right. That's right. All right, so there about so any last thoughts about leadership before we move on to CapEx? I know CapEx is going to be kind of fun. So SMT, anything else you want to add to leadership? What do you think? Do you think we left anything out?
No, not really. I'm excited to talk about the CapEx piece.
Oh, okay. What about you, Zirko? Anything else on leadership?
I just want to say that there is young leaders out there, and not people that are 85, 90 plus. As you know, just saying, we don't want old farts in there, right?
Come on, man.
Yeah, no Joe Biden's in there either.
All right. So here, let's move to CapEx. Okay, more income. What do you think? Do you think that they need more income so that they can do more CapEx, so they can do more, or, because in order to spend more, you got to make more. So what do you think about that, SMT? Do you think there's a CapEx problem?
My only concern is that the CapEx is dropping at a time where it probably shouldn't. I just, so it's going to be going from like 12 billion to like 9 billion in the next year or two. I kind of hope that they keep it around 12, 13, or 14 billion for a couple of years, just because I want to see the millimeter wave piece change. And I know it's going to take some CapEx.
Oh, yeah.
Backhaul. They're going to need fiber partnerships. And that's why I think that the CapEx, and the OpEx too, all of it would increase. But they're not a very profitable company. So it's something that is pie in the sky, and it's not likely to happen.
That's crazy. So what do you think, Zirko, more income? Do you think more income's needed?
Of course, yeah. I mean, nothing's wrong with the more income, right? So I think more income. I do agree with Sneed's said. I mean, you have Verizon, AT&T spending about 15, 20 billion, 25 billion, right? When you're trying to modernize the network, you need to spend the money. Yeah, yes, you're in a spectrum auction now, but spend the money to at least get the towers going, right?
Yeah.
It's just, I don't care if they have to borrow from Deutsche Telekom, whatever. So get some infused capital in there and spend it.
That's right.
You need to.
Well, maybe they can make more money by sending those twerkers out and on OnlyFans and get more income for T-Mobile that way.
Possibility. You need to pay to play, as they say, right? So
that's right. Send them twerkers out. That's right. All right. What about stop free stuff? What do you think, RSMT? Do you think the free stuff is hurting T-Mobile? Do you think that, or is it helping them, especially related to CapEx?
I think the only free thing that hurts is probably the free lines. As long as they continue to give people free service, it's service that they're not paying for. Therefore, the ARPU decreases, the ARPA decreases. When we look at their competitors, AT&T and Verizon are both, leaps and bounds ahead of them in respect to ARPU and ARPA. And that's why AT&T and Verizon typically spend more on the network. They typically have more operating revenue, and the margins are better there, along with those economics of networking and stuff. But man, those free lines are starting to really bother me in that respect. But from a consumer standpoint, it's great. Customers.
Oh yeah, of course.
Lines. I mean, you have 7 lines, you pay for 4, or something like that.
That's right.
For a consumer, it's phenomenal. Your bill's going to be $200 a month, and you've got 9 lines. It's a great value.
Heck yeah. Everybody wants something for free.
But I think the Netflix thing is nice. It differentiates them in a way. AT&T got rid of it. The HBO Max. Verizon includes Hulu and all that. So those value plays are nice. I kind of like those. But the free lines are they're hurting them. I know they say it doesn't hurt them and stuff like that, but those
Yeah.
customers, if they want to keep the lines, they'd be paying for it elsewhere. Why are they unwilling to pay for it from T-Mobile? I don't understand.
For sure. Okay, so next up is more business partnerships. So, as we know, we've heard T-Mobile announce business partnerships with some things, but some of the things that they've done is just like small business things, not even near the equal to the big stuff that Verizon's done and the big stuff that AT&T's done. I mean, look at FirstNet, and you know that's pretty much kind of like a business partnership there. Even though, of course, they was handed money to do that, but still, it's still considered a business partnership. So, what do you think, here, Zero Cruel?
Yeah, I think you know, as they say, the saying, "More business is good business," right? So, I think it'd be nice to see them maybe expand into more business partnerships, like the medical field. Maybe they can get a deal going with like maybe some insurance agencies, hospitals. Maybe I'm thinking like maybe the Red Cross. I don't know, something along those lines, right? Um, I think it's important to expand anywhere and ever you can. You know, it'd be nice to see them get into maybe do a deal with like restaurants, like maybe like a Starbucks or you know, something like that. Something maybe Wendy's. I don't know, something to the point where you can get T-Mobile service in these places. You know, like for free. Something I don't know, something along those lines to help your bottom line.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so any more points on CapEx? What do you think, SMT? Anything more? What do you think about the business partnerships?
I want to see a fiber business partnership.
Yeah.
I think that would
Oh,
be
yeah,
huge,
that
and
would be a
I think
two-way
some
street there.
government- Yeah, exactly. And I want to see government and agency contracts. Once they get it, then I say that they've arrived to the party. Until that point, AT&T and Verizon just keep chewing it up, man.
Yeah,
It's just the facts, man.
they're just eating so much. Yep. All right, so let's do marketing next. So what you guys think about marketing? Do you think marketing is a flop or great? Do real uncarrier moves instead of this crazy uncarrier moves? The whole word uncarrier, I just think is stupid to even call it uncarrier. So I don't know, that's just me. That's just a flashy, catchy word, just to get people to, get on board. I mean, that's what we're in a society now. I mean, the society nowadays is more into this catchy, trendy, fad thing. I mean, just look all across TikTok and YouTube or on all these other channels. I mean, there's some stuff out there that people just absolutely go crazy about, and I think that's what that T-Mobile's done. That's what they're trying to do. They're doing their marketing stuff. They're going after all that kind of stuff. Whereas AT&T and Verizon's just doing it the old traditional way of just, being professional and putting stuff out there. So what do you think about that, Zero Cool?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the carrier moves. It wasn't like the John Ledger era used to be. An uncarrier move is not. Well, we'll just give you 50% of this and then charge your taxes on the rest. Whatever. On the marketing is a lot. I think about every time I watch a TV commercial, about 80% of it's a T-Mobile commercial on TV.
Yeah, I don't even watch commercials, so I wouldn't even know.
Yeah, but the messaging is
Mm-hmm.
a little off. How can you say you have the biggest 5G network, or the largest 5G network, or whatever?
Yeah, of course we know that's all fake, but yeah. What do you think, SMT? What do you think about this marketing stuff?
Their marketing is their ace of spades, man. It is by far the strength of the company. They got commercials on full circulation.
Mm-hmm.
They got marketing techniques and strategies that convey a message to younger folks, middle-aged folks. I mean, heck, now they're even targeting older folks. With Dee Schneider, we're not gonna take it.
Oh, geez.
Yeah,
wow.
I mean, they're hitting all the right strings, man, when it comes to that stuff. And I don't know, they're spending a lot of money on marketing. I wish some of that
Oh,
went
yeah.
to the network instead, but it's
Oh
crazy
yeah,
for them because
I
you
wish
look at
that
the
too.
numbers.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I
Like
think it's
if they
totally
weren't growing,
inverted.
Ricky, if they weren't growing, you'd say they're wasting their money. But with the growth and the ads and the
Hmm.
business being the way it is, you're like, well, it's converting, you know.
Yeah, and it is getting better over time, from what I'm hearing across. I'm seeing everybody talk about it and everything. Of course, I dumped skunk a long time ago because the skunk apes attacked me, so I had to dump them. So, but like I said, I think I'm going to get online, because I will never get T-Mobile directly because I don't want my hack. I don't want to get hacked again. I don't want my, it's bad enough, because I go on my Experian and there's an alert on there that says your Social Security number is on a dark web, and that was like 4 or 5 years ago. I was a Metro by T-Mobile customer. So even that is still, and so I won't ever go to them directly like that. But I would go to Google Fi, because basically you're paying for them and then you're getting access to the system. So I am thinking about doing that so that I can go out and do some testing for you guys. So, because I already have Los Mobile for AT&T and Verizon, so I've been testing them like crazy, showing you guys what's going on with the new N77, 5G Plus, and all that stuff. The last time I had Google Fi, it was horrible. The UC was like very sporadic, hardly any range. You had to be within a mile of the tower, not optimized. It was just totally garbage. So, but I see some new Ericsson gear going up, as you've seen on my drone videos in the past. There's some Ericsson gear going up on N41, and I'm guessing that they're actually starting to optimize things and get it better. So I don't know, Zero Cool, what do you think about that down here in the South Florida market? Do you think they're actually getting ready to make things better on N41 for us down here?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Yep. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So at this point, well, maybe there's light at the end of the tunnel. So you never know. Maybe if T-Mobile keeps on their track, and of course, maybe you never know. Maybe Neville the Pebble and Mike Sievert may watch this live stream, and maybe they'll get these pointers, and maybe they'll say, "Wow, okay, wow, maybe some of these pointers and stuff we're talking about here, maybe some of these things will go, and maybe they'll step up the game a little bit, because they have to catch AT&T and Verizon, because right now those two companies are in a perfect situation where they can rapidly move forward. And of course, it's all the whole balance of price too. It's like, well, you can have the best and the quality, but if you're too pricey, people are still not going to do it. So, but as far as what can happen, if T-Mobile can make a lot of improvements and try to catch up to them and be equal, then it's possible that it'd be a really, really good, fair race where you got all three like full speed ahead, into the race. And competition is a really good thing too. And the biggest thing in marketing that I see is the tell the truth, no more deception and lies. If you're going to brag about something, make sure that you've spent the money on it and you got it. So just like me right now, if I say I got the best drone out there, I could see that right now. I can say, hey, everybody, I got the best drone out there. My drone is better than everybody's out there. Now, I can make that statement, but is it true? Well, of course it's not true. I mean, I have a Mavic 2 Zoom. That thing's 2 years old. So that thing came out 2 years ago. Now, Carlos has the Mavic 3 or Mavic 3. So actually his drone is better than mine because it's newer, it's got more features, it's better and everything like that. So, but it's so easy for you just to blurt out, oh, I got the best drone out there. Yeah, it may seem like that to you, that you got the best drone out there, and you might have like never had a drone in your life, but now all of a sudden you got one. So now you're all excited, you want to brag about it, but you got to keep things realistic. You can't like over exaggerate. You got to stick with the facts, because if you don't, then you got people like me and others out there that will call you out and point and say, well, this fake 5G stuff like 2 years ago, when you remember that SMT, when we were all like hyped up and couldn't wait for 5G to come out. And then once we found out what they launched and how it worked, and It was like, it was a big slap in the face. Like, really? You're going to brag about this? Really? And they're still bragging about it to this date. So is it better than what they had in the past 2 years ago? Yeah. Anything that you add that's better is going to be better. But as far as keeping up with AT&T Verizon, right now they're smoking. I cannot wait to see the 200 megahertz of spectrum with AT&T and Verizon, because it's going to be gigabit speeds, easy. So we'll have to see what happens, but that's what I say. Just tell the truth. No deception, lies. If you just do a great network, you do a great job, you brag about what you've already accomplished, and you anticipate on what you're going to do. Say, hey, we're going to do this for you. You can brag about what you're going to do, but you got to put your money where your mouth is, and you got to actually do it. So, SMT, any other points on marketing? Anything we left out?
I dig the energy. I dig the excitement. I love all of that. I don't know, man. I guess I kind of like the concept of, you're going to brag and boast. Just make sure it's accurate. Don't try to stretch the truth. I don't know, man. When it comes to business and corporations, hide behind the fact, it's business. They're just trying to big up their, their situation to look better and stuff. But you got to keep it real, man. You got to call a spade a spade. That's
right. What do you think? They were cool. Any other thing you want to add on marketing that they can do better or not do so much?
I kind of would like to see, kind of like what Verizon did in the past. I'd love to see, for example, if you let's say if you launched a lot of market share and a lot of sites in a certain geographical area or state, put it out on the air. Put it on TV, saying, hey, we just improved service in, Des Moines, Iowa, or whatever,
Yeah.
So that's what I like to see.
Absolutely. All right, so let's move on to network. Yeah, baby. I think this is the most important out of all the topics so far here we're talking about. So, yeah, network. Oh my God. So let's dissect this with a hot, spicy pancake hot take here. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about the network. Okay, so the first one up is more density, small cells, and millimeter wave. Oh my God, I already know what you're going to say there, SMT. What do you think about that? Do you think that is important to take T-Mobile to the next level and compete against Verizon and AT&T?
Yeah, the markets where their density isn't good, they have to improve that. That's probably why a lot of people will probably stay on Verizon and AT&T. Take, for example, my market. They don't have the market share that Verizon has, or AT&T for that matter. So maybe they're not motivated to spend the money to densify. But their network won't truly shine with all that spectrum that they have. They do have a lot of spectrum, but it won't shine unless they densify. And that's from the macro cells to the small cells. And, it would be a game changer if they were to tighten up their grid and put a site every mile, or instead of just going macros, add small cells in between to help with those edge cell moments,
Absolutely. What do you think, Air Zero Cole? What do you think about more density, small cells, millimeter wave? What do you think? Do you think that's going to make them win? Are they doing anything about? Is that in the plans? If you can say,
I think
I know you're kind of limited on what you can say.
I think it's a big part of winning. More density, right? Match Verizon's footprint. That's what their goal should be. Small cells. Yeah, add small cells. Make it a part of your. Network planning. Don't take out 50,000 small cells and don't broadcast macros from Planet Zorb. Just
you all know that Neville loves his Zarg nuts.
It's a three-tiered approach. Right. In the millimeter wave, yeah, you have the spectrum. Put it in
Yep.
more places than just, stadiums and
Yep.
coffee shops.
And the beautiful thing about a small cell is
Yeah, but
you can
they don't
do
put them in
the
stadiums,
old
though.
tech, and you can put the millimeter wave on the same site. You can use it in dual purpose. You can use millimeter wave. I mean, you got band 48 you can use. You got millimeter wave you can use. And then you got all the regular stuff. You can just throw that on a small cell between the macros, and that would be just so great. That would help your indoor coverage a lot more too. Make your home internet work better because there's more capacity. I think they're overselling that home internet. I think.
Don't get me started on that.
What do you think, SMT? More density,
Yeah.
small cells, millimeter wave.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like Zero Cool was talking about how they need to put it in more places than this. They don't even put it at stadiums. They put it at one stadium.
They put it at some. I'll just say some.
Yeah, everywhere, every time there's a Super Bowl, they go and put millimeter wave.
Oh,
So basically, in 50 years, there'll be 50 cities with millimeter wave for T-Mobile.
oh, jeez. All right, Tech Guy 32 says. In addition, I wonder if Sprint depth is affecting their capex. I just seen that question there. What do you think? I know we just finished that up, but
I mean, Sprint was at what, 35? Was it 35 billion debt?
36, yeah, 36 billion,
36
yeah.
debt. I mean, yeah, that's a lot of debt. So probably.
so over time, you think that's going to get better as they pay that off, or you think they will ever pay it off?
Synergies.
Yes. Unfortunately, Steve is right. Synergies. Where does that come from?
What?
All right, so let's talk about backhaul. More. Do you think backhaul is crippling the network right now, Zero? Not enough.
I think I think some of the backhaul providers, I think that T-Mobile is using it's I think they need to cut it loose, go with AT&T. I think they provide a better quality backhaul network. To me, they are the king of backhaul. I would redo some leases, backhaul fiber leases, and just make it better. So. But yeah, I mean, you definitely need backhaul, right? More frequency, more spectrum you add, backhaul will go along with it. So it goes hand in hand.
Oh yeah. What do you think, SMT? Do you think backhaul is an issue, or you think they're good?
In my market, I'll just speak to mine. They're basically on 1 gig circuits all the way around. I have not really seen.
What?
Yeah, they're on 1 gig circuits because I can't find any sites that get more than like 500, 600, 700 megs down on N41. So that's pretty good. There's nothing wrong with it. But I would think that they would be compelled to try to kick it up a notch, and then they monetize their home internet more. So
wow.
Yeah, maybe it's but they don't have the market share to really command it for the mobile network here. So I'm good with 1 gig for now. But there are cities where they definitely need to go 10 gig circuit. No excuses. They're just going to have to bite the bullet, pay the money, and upgrade. And sometimes they're at the mercy of the providers, and it may not be available at the site, so they're stuck without it. But I do think a partnership with a fiber operator is crucial for them, nationally.
And also the price too. They may not have enough money in the budget to pay for the good stuff, and they got to go with the cheap stuff. Yeah, Troy says, how much is it for a good drone? Well, my drone I got it used for like $1,000. So, and it's the DJI Mavic 2. It seems to be Mavic 2 Zoom. It's a pretty good drone. So if you can find one out there that's cheap, like that's used, it's not been abused and crashed, it's in good shape, that would be a good price. I know you could probably get the mini one. They got a mini version of the DJI that you can get. Now there's some other manufacturers that also make drones out there, but they're cheaper, $400 or $500, but they may not be as good, reliable, and all that. The number one thing, I'll just tell you this, the number one thing that destroys drones, of course, crashing drones, is hitting obstacles. So if you're going to fly one, you have to have one that's very good and reliable as far as flight, where you can stop on a dime and move and avoid stuff, and also have those sensors on. The new Mavic 3 has really good sensors. The sensors are so good you can't even fly into a tree. It'll actually stop the drone. Now mine, I think 5 out of 10 times it'll save you from driving into a tree, but 5 of them times the sensors will say, oh, there's no tree there, and take you right into it. So that's the whole thing. Now, you don't need the good obstacle avoidance collision if you're a really good drone operator. If you really take all safety precautions and learn how to fly it safely and good and practice and all that, then you could actually use something like I got, not worry about crashing it. So yeah, and there's plenty of YouTube channels out there that does a lot of drone information stuff. So yeah, just check some of them channels out. Some of them are really, really good channels. There's Tim. Tim's here. I guess he didn't get it in. I sent him the link to come in here, since he used to work for T-Mobile, so I wanted him to come in here, so give us shed a little light in here. So, but he must have got busy there. Suspect T-Mobile has also balanced act, since they have to make investors happy, not raising prices. Point with it. That's a very good point. Yep, that is so true. T-Mobile will win just off price. That's why they are winning. Network doesn't matter as much. Only really matters to the people. These channels. Yep, that is a very good statement right there. And yeah, I think you hit it right there, Tim. That's it. Ricky right now, I don't think Verizon could catch a cold. T-Mobile is beating them, and they have taken their eyes off what matters. Even voice calling is suspect now, with a lot of all the circuits are busy. Okay. Verizon might have a network, but they are losing. Again, network doesn't matter when you're overpriced. Okay. Timby, it doesn't help in their LTE networks getting congested point of no data in areas where there's no ultra wide. Yep. Well, we've already known that even though it's a reliable network, but congestion is an issue for them and stuff, and that is true. And part of this we can blame on the FCC too, because the FCC should have had spectrum for them to use 2 years ago. We wouldn't be in this congestion situation if it wasn't for the failure of FCC. And if you missed that episode, I have it on replay where you can watch for the failures of FCC to the wireless industry. Check out that live stream. Yeah, Tim says Verizon's worst in his area, so. And now T-Mobile is the best. They have the coverage, N41. What kind of range are you getting, Tim, on your N41 out your way? Because down here, we're only getting like a mile away, maybe a mile and a half if you're lucky. But even a mile and a half when you do a speed test, it's just like regular old LTE. Troy says, I have a Super Bowl in his house. Oh, crap. I think millimeter wave should do it selectively, since it's very expensive to deploy massively. Yeah. Well, it is kind of expensive to do. But if you're already going to do a small cell, I mean, adding the millimeter wave on it, I think if they combine forces together, I think it still would be in cost effectiveness to do it that way. I mean, AT&T's making it work. Verizon's making it work. I think backhaul is the biggest limitation to N41. Yep, I agree with that. If T-Mobile bought Sprint only to show off Sprint towers, so that's a good point. We need to add that onto the list here. I didn't even add that in there. Where are the tremendous amounts of lumens for our offices? They are not consideration for backhaul. They can get a backhaul from us, but they haven't. I believe Cleveland uses fiber lines. They got the GGI Mini for $399 at Costco. Wow, that's a pretty good price.
I can
Mavic
confirm,
3.
Troy, that T-Mobile uses Everstream here.
There you go. Verizon has to share some blame as well for congestion, since AT&T and T-Mobile do not seem to have as much congestion issues. Well, it's all about, I mean, you got Verizon rocking with 30 megahertz, like my site, 30 megahertz of spectrum, so they're kind of behind on the spectrum. So, I mean, it's working. It's more reliable than everything else. So that's pretty amazing. I mean, the fact that I can sit here and live stream off of LTE with no problems or hiccups is just amazing. Where I had Comcast, and you all watch my live streams when I'm on Comcast. I mean, sitting there and, oh, where'd Ricky go? Oh, I don't know. Remember that Zero Cool when I just disappeared off the, and Comcast went completely out for like 5 minutes and then I came back.
Yeah.
And then most of the time, like when you guys are watching me, it's like, the image stopping and lagging and blurring and all that kind of stuff. It's just crazy. So I'm just glad I got Verizon Home Internet's fixing me up here really good. So for the least amount of spectrum, it's actually doing pretty good. And I'm sure the priority is pretty good on home internet too. So because it seems like the priority on it is just as good as the lowest mobile Verizon on my phone. It seems the priority is kind of pretty much consistent, the same there. 1.5 miles is edge out west of the N41. Okay, that's about right. Do not forget the failures. FAA, they had a fair warning. Yep, that's true. T-Mobile has a site about every 1.2 miles in the city. In rural, they are doing every 3 miles right now. N41 range average is 1.5 miles with N41 Ericsson market. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty good. Terrain must matter immensely to N41. I do not have N41 near my home, but where we have it on a hill or a small mountain, the N41 gives us about 7 miles. Yeah. That's whenever you go on terrain. That's when you got hills. You put the tower on the hill. You're actually using that extra height. So you got 300-foot tower on a hill that's already 300 or 400 feet above terrain. So it's like. It would be the same as us putting N41 on a 1,000-foot tower here in the Keys. It's the same thing. Yeah, sure, you're going to get some mile range. But the only bad thing is, you don't have enough frequencies and they're going to collide with each other. So you would have to put a massive down tilt on it. Better yet, just don't even put it 1,000 foot. It just ain't going to work. In the rural areas, yeah, you can get away with that, but not in the city areas. Definitely not. Can T-Mobile do massive MIMO on N41? I suspect that could improve range and reliability. Well, that's a pretty good question there. What do you think of that, Zero Cool? I know you can answer that question very easy.
We do. It's 64 by 64 transmit and receive. That's what it is now.
So there's no more split modes? 32 on LTE, 32 on NR? They got rid of all that garbage nonsense finally? That's awesome. Comcast has very good network in your area. Well, I'm glad. It wasn't good for me. All right, so where we left off here, let's see. Say backhaul. Okay, C, Spectrum. What do you think about Spectrum there, SMT? What do you think T-Mobile Spectrum Holdings is? Do you think more Spectrum is going to help them, considering everything else we're talking about, like backhaul and optimization and all that stuff?
I mean, they're in a good spectrum position right now. They have a lot of band 2. The 1900. They got a 600. They're improving that with the purchase from Columbia Capital and those holdings companies. They're shoring up their 2.5, the 2000. They're getting more of that in the white space auction, and those channels are getting deeper, and they're starting to aggregate those bands pretty well. Mm-hmm. I think they're doing a fine job in spectrum. I mean, they bought a little C-band, the 3.7 in some places. They bought a little bit of DOD, the 3.45 in some place, most of the country actually. I think they've done a pretty nice job to get spectrum as it's become available, and they've done a nice job to clean up that is their N71 and N41. So I think they're doing fine with spectrum. Their millimeter wave's not really being used, so I don't know. I've heard rumor and speculation that they might be looking to sell that to raise capital.
Oh.
I don't know who's in the market for it. The other carriers seem to have a ton of it, like 1,000 or more megahertz already. So I don't really know who's in the market for it, but I think spectrum-wise they're fine. I would just obviously it's their strength. They've got enough spectrum for 2 carriers. They've got their spectrum plus Sprint. So they don't need spectrum. That it's fine to get it when it becomes available, but they don't need more.
Oh, okay. And what do you think, Zero Cool? What do you think about Spectrum? Do they need more?
Yeah, they
or are they fine?
They got plenty of it. I mean, they got the most mid-band out of any carrier, right? So I just think they just need to deploy it, make it work. That's all.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and don't forget, everybody, too, I have the poll up. Got 43 votes so far. If T-Mobile had better leadership and started doing things right, what chance do they have to succeed? So there's your question. Either 75 to 100%, 50 to 75, 25 to 50, or 0 to 25%, they will fail. So cast your votes if you haven't voted already. So, and then I'll close this out and we'll go from there. I wonder if cable would buy, since it might work with their strand mount. Yeah, that's coming up here. We're going to talk about that here in a second. All right, so letter D, optimize. Did I spell that wrong? God, I did spell it. Spell catcher didn't even catch that. And video calling and live streaming, reduce jitter, ping, and all that kind of stuff. What do you think, SMT? Do you think T-Mobile needs to optimize their sites, fix it so that the customers can have a better chance of video calling, live streaming, reduce the jitter and ping, and get your MOS score higher? So what do you think about that?
Yeah, some markets seem pretty good. Some sites in my market are really good. Some are not as good. For example, my home site, which has just been upgraded like within the last month, it's very, very average. I mean, you
very average.
Yeah, like you.
What?
Like, not actually. In some ways, it's like below average. Like for how close I am, how tall the site is. For my
below average.
Yeah, for how like below average.
Wow.
Uplink is. It's disappointing, man. And I don't know why it's like that. I really don't. The neighboring cells are all upgraded with N41. So there's nothing left to do. It was the last site in the area that didn't get an N41 upgrade. So it's not like I could say, well, maybe if the densification improves and other sites get upgraded, things will improve. It's sad. Like,
oh wow,
I can't get 10 megabits per second uplink, and I'm at a mile range.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, even the upper level, I can't get 10 megabits uplink. Even the upper level.
Right. Well, I feel your pain on it, because I'm in the same situation. When I had the T-Mobile line, when I was testing it here, if I come here, I'm 2 miles away, right? No signal. I have zero signal here. None. Zero. So, but yet AT&T's on the same tower site, and I got 1 to 2 bars, and it works beautiful. No problem with that lowest signal. So I know exactly what you mean. So, and that's what it goes right back to where more density, small. So if for some reason I'm not able to push the signal good indoors 2 miles away, then they need to start putting sites between the sites, like small cells and stuff like that, so that they can.
You know what I noticed about N41? Like, you're talking about these different situations. N41 on freeways is incredible. It goes for miles. N41 in rural America, absolutely tremendous. It stretches for miles. Something happens in urban. I don't know if it's Sinar. I don't know if it's interference. I don't know if it's
That's
noisy.
probably what it is.
I just can't put my finger on it. It's just
that's some of it, because in areas like where you live, you have your free space path loss, right? So you have a lot more obstructions like trees, interference, other businesses,
right?
Radio frequencies can be interfering, AM stations, ham radio stations. It's a lot of stuff. Right? So versus like a freeway where you have a huge open space, nothingness. So your free space path loss is, end to end good. So that's pretty much the difference. Different RF environments.
Yeah, and you got to remember too, N41 is considered a microwave band, so it is 2.5 gigahertz. So it's going to have the propagation and bouncing characteristics. So in your urban area where you got a lot of signs and you got a lot of buildings and stuff, the signal is going to bounce back, and then and then you get signal bouncing from other sites that's not intended to. So because the way the sectors are, they're pointed in different directions, so they shoot the signal out. So when you're using one sector, you should be only receiving one signal. But because of the way the propagation is, it reflects off of stuff. It's possible to get it to reflect over and go right into that sector, the same one that you're trying to use, and then you get the interference and stuff. And of course, that's going to really get more intensive when you go to 3.7 gigahertz because it's another gigahertz higher. So all that stuff is in account. But guess what? There's one thing that really helps with that, and it's called multiple user massive MIMO and the beamforming and stuff. So using the correct software with that stuff can fix all that, right, Caleb?
Yeah, I mean, we do have that with N41 too, but it's really about it's like a science book, you know, where your towers are going to be at, how is this frequency propagate, and what interference, you know, how many buildings, where are you trying to get the signal to, how tall are your towers, right? How tall is your
Yep, absolutely.
There's a lot of things that go into it, and just, you know, that's what I'm saying. This is why I say that one thing is ever the correct answer. You need everything to be flowing and nice and correct. For example, you need your spectrum, you need tower height, you need density, you need backhaul, you need optimization, you need pretty much everything. And it's just, if you leave one thing out, it can cause some real issues.
Oh yeah, it goes right back to the weakest link is where it fails, right? That's right.
Yep. Oh yeah.
All right, so now we're going to talk about firing bad engineers and better training for engineers. So what do you think about that there, SMT? Do you think they should be firing some engineers for what they're doing, or do you think it's just management telling them to do everything wrong, or what do you think?
I guess it's all situational. I don't like to promote people to get fired. Maybe proper training, giving them opportunities to improve, intervention plans, and trying to encourage a standard of excellence.
Right.
Not just
You're fired.
not just winging it, not just flinging it, slinging it.
Flinging it, slinging it.
You're fired.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
For sure.
I don't want to see people get fired, but you got to get better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's right. They have to have standards, SOPs, and all that good stuff. So what do you think, Zero Cool? I know you're probably very knowledgeable about this part. What do you think about the engineers at T-Mobile?
I don't advocate for firing anybody, no matter where you work at. I just think
right.
I think a lot of it has to come down to what you have to what you have to what you're working with, right? You only have so much. You only have so much of the Kool-Aid to work with, right? So, I think this is going to get a lot better. I don't necessarily. I don't think it's not necessarily bad engineering per se, but for example, you have different spectrum in different markets, right? You also have the issue of city councils. Sometimes they don't approve a T-Mobile tower. Sometimes they only approve for a certain height. Sometimes,
right, that's true. So now you got to play magic with the puzzle.
I've had to do that. So it's a lot of little things. I remember when I had to. I was at a different company. I had to optimize a tower that had a rad center of the height that was 30 feet shorter for handoff.
Oh, geez.
And that was the name. Huh. So, but somehow I made it work. So.
Well, there you go. Well, that's awesome. Yeah. All right, so now let's talk about do real standalone and voice over NR. Do you think they should stop bragging that they got it and all that kind of stuff, saying that they got it when they don't? And do you think actually doing the real thing is actually going to make it any better? Do you think standalone is actually going to work on their, I should say, paralyzed network? I mean, well, paralyzed is kind of harsh, but not up to par network, I guess we should say, right? Because we already know in order to do standalone and voice over NR, you have to have a very good network in the first place. And they're already starting off with only 62% of America covered versus Verizon's 70%. And then you got Swiss cheese holes in the whole network all of it because they don't have enough density and backhaul and stuff. So So, Caleb, you think the standalone and voice over on R is going to work when they really do launch the real thing? Or is that why they're kind of like saying we got it, but when they really don't? Is that they're just kind of like faking it till they make it?
I think they're the first to roll out a 5G standalone core in the cloud. I think once the spectrum auction is done, once all the density is built, this is a couple of years from now. I think, and once the Volnar is rolled out as well,
Years, holy shit!
Yeah, I think it's building sites takes time, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you want to match Verizon's footprint, right? So.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah. So I think once you, I will say this: when I was able to test out the Volnar with Pete, the bearded dragon in Utah, I was very, very impressed. I thought it sounded better than Verizon's Multi. So yeah, it has the ability.
Okay.
It has the ability to get there, but roll it out smart, roll it out properly, but roll it out quickly. It has the ability to get there. Is it there now? No. So.
Oh, that's awesome. What do you think, SMT? What do you think about standalone and voice over on R? You think that's going to make a difference with T-Mobile? Do you think it's going to help them?
Yeah, I hope it does, because their voice calling quality isn't very good.
Yeah,
so
I
I'm
agree
hoping
with that.
This is much better. Yeah.
Yeah, and I wish everybody would stop saying that they have standalone and they have voice over on R, which we already know. Basically, what their standalone is now is basically band select is all it is. They're selecting NR bands, and they're excluding the LTE. That's not standalone. That's like fake standalone. So, right, Caleb?
Right, dude.
All right. So let's talk about to fix the drop call problems. Oh my God, that's the most annoying thing. Just about my boss has got T-Mobile, right? And he calls me, and he has to call me back 5 times in a phone call. And he gets mad. He goes, damn it, Ricky. Why you keep hanging up on me? I said, I have Verizon, or I'll be on AT&T. I said, no, I'm on AT&T right now. It's not me, it's you. You're on the trash network, so don't yell at me about it. He goes, you mean it's my service? I go, yeah, it's your service. Because when I talk to other people, I don't have that problem. It's only when I talk to T-Mobile people. So the drop call is driving him crazy. So what do you think of the SMT? Do you think drop calls is like a very annoying thing? Do you think, or you don't think people do that because most people text nowadays? They really don't call people anymore. What do you think?
Yeah, but even if you do like a voice call that's like let's say it's a FaceTime call, FaceTime audio. Like I was on a FaceTime audio call with Dennis. And I was like a half a mile from the tower site, and it dropped. And I'm like, how? Why? The signal is basically full. I'm connected to N71, N41 like it was an upgraded tower. It had been upgraded for like a year. Like I know the tower I was connected to. And it dropped a FaceTime audio call. And
dropped it like it's hot.
Yeah, and he called me back and he's like, dude, what happened? I'm like, I don't know what happened. It was on your end. He's like, no, it was you. And I'm like, right next to this freaking tower. So like I've seen strange things where it's like not even a challenging situation. Like I would expect that if I was maybe in a fringe coverage area, but that's simply not the case. It was so random and weird.
Yeah, and most of the people I talk to that have drop call problem going on, they say, oh, I got full signal. So it's got to be definitely something else. What do you think, Zerko? What do you think the cause of this drop call problem that a lot of people have? What do you think's causing it?
Well, density is a factor. Having your frequencies not on FDD, that's a factor for
okay.
Right? For N41, yeah. So the issue is I will say this: dropped calls are my biggest pet peeve ever. I mean, ever. I get it's just drop calls and poor audio.
Yeah.
When people sound like a duck over the phone, God, I cannot stand that. It just I get very, very, very heated, and it's my biggest pet. It's my biggest pet peeve. and it's the worst thing ever. I know, bad.
Oh yeah, that could be very, very angry. Even makes the cats angry.
Right.
They get very angry when.
And I remember when I was on way back when I was on the T-Mobile Edge network, I'd be dropping calls like flies down the highway or down the road. I shit you not, like I dropped a call 10 times in less than 1 minute. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Yep, that's true. Well, today I had the first time ever on Verizon that when I tried to make a phone call, I couldn't make a phone call. So, because today when I first woke up, one of the managers down there at Bass Pro had a question for me. So he said, hey, call me. So I tried to call him. I called, call failed. Called, call failed. Call failed. But you know exactly why. They're working on my tower. So they probably had something unplugged for a moment. They were switching something over. And then about 5 minutes later, I tried again and the call went through and was no problem. So it's kind of interesting. We lost SMT. I guess it's his bedtime. Oh, it's 11:30. Yeah, it's getting kind of late. Yeah, he's probably got work tomorrow. So, all right. So the next thing we're going to talk about is more multiple user massive MIMO. Do you think T-Mobile needs to do more of that, or they're kind of limited? Of course, you can't deploy that equipment on the old technology like N71 and N2 and all that. You just can't do it because there's not enough bandwidth, and there's not enough, And like for low band, you can't use 64 by 64 massive MIMO because the antenna would be the size of your car up on the tower, so you can't do that. So, but do you think that more massive MIMO on N41 is going to make a difference, and also on the new frequency 3.4 that T-Mobile got? Do you think that's going to help us?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I think to get it up to 120 by 128 or higher. I
can't wait till that stuff comes out.
Yeah, it's has to do with the radio equipment vendors. So I think it's coming. This is not just for T-Mobile, but it's for all carriers. AT&T and Verizon, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, yeah. So, I mean, their MIMO is only 64 by 64 or 2 for the millimeter wave, right? So, it can be improved.
Absolutely. Yeah, nothing's more annoying than being on a phone call and you can't understand what the person's saying. You can hear them talking, but you just can't understand what they're saying. So, yeah, that would be very bad. So, kind of sounds like this here. I can show you, give you kind of this voice board here. I actually has one in here that's let's see where's it at here. I thought I had it saved on my favorites, but it's not on my favorites here. I can't find it. Yeah, there's so many sounds on here too. I mean, there's so many. I mean, like right here, here's hamsters.
This is what it sounds like when you're a hamster.
So yeah, this thing has all kinds of different sounds. Let's see, cave. Let's see, echo, blocks. Oh, here.
This is it. The cheap mic. Yeah. So this is what it sounds like when you're talking on T-Mobile. Okay. Kind of makes you sound fuzzy and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, there you go.
Sounds like good old analog. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Exactly. All right. Yeah, sounds good. Okay, so let's see. Then you get just call fail for 10 minutes. Oh, yeah, that'd be bad. Verizon must have a massive service outage this morning because Xfinity Mobile had an outage. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, anytime you're upgrading systems, you're doing things, making better. I mean, in order to replace hardware, you got to unplug hardware. So, I mean, there's going to be times, but you would think they would do some of this stuff at night. But if it's during the day, you got a big outage, it's because of either software or hardware failure. So yeah, and we're in an electronic age. Things is like that. So stuff's just going to happen like that. So, but of course you got to keep it limited. You can't have major outages all the time because then it's going to not be very reliable and everything. So, all right. So the drop call thing, more massive MMO, better call quality. We talked about that. Spectrum swaps. What do you think about that? Do you think that will help with T-Mobile if they swap band 12 with AT&T? If they do swap so that they can have more contingent spectrum so that you don't have to use 2 carrier aggregation, like have a channel for 20 on band 12 and then another 20 over here or 10 on band 12 and you have to carrier aggregate them. Whereas if you just swap things so that everybody's stuff is next to each other, then you can have 20 over here and they can have 20 over here, and then you don't have to worry about wasting a carrier aggregation just for, small slices. I see that often. You got 5 megahertz or 10 megahertz, and it's carrier aggregated with another 5 or 10. Like right here, down here for AT&T, we got 50 megahertz. You got 15 and 10 and 10 and 5 and 5. I think something like that. But it's broken down kind of like that with 5 carrier aggregation. So you think stuff like that may help them?
I think not necessarily, one second. I think band 12, not band 12, but like using spectrum swaps with Dish or US Cellular for the 600 megahertz, that's how I like to see it.
Okay. Or like band 66.
Yeah.
Do some swaps around there.
Well, I think those are all used up, but I think, basically I think, some spectrum swaps, for existing, 600 megahertz, kind of like they just did, with the lien holders there.
Yeah. So a lot of that stuff they was leasing, they just bought it now. So now since they own it, they can actually organize it and swap with other people. If you're leasing it, you can't. Do a swap.
I would do the 600 megahertz. Do some spectrum buys. Not sure spectrum buys from like US Cellular or Dish.
Okay.
Make it.
Oh yeah.
Something. Yeah. That's how I would do. And then you can add some more channels for your carrier aggregation on it.
Very true. All right, so now with rate plans and services, that's the other category. That's category 5 here. So I put in here no more free lines. I think SMT put that in there too. So what do you think about no more free lines? Do you think that's hurting T-Mobile right now, free lines?
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
Bad idea, huh?
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
And what about more options for light and heavy users? You think some rate plans should be changed to where you have plans for the light users and some for the heavy users, kind of separate them up instead of forcing the light users to take bigger plans just to get a good quality service?
Honestly, I don't like any of that. I think there should just be one unlimited plan, and just make it unlimited everything, including, a hotspot, everything. Just have all the carriers as one plan so that nobody complains and just have it good. That's how I like to see it.
Yeah, but what about grandma who only uses 1 gig a month?
Who cares?
But she still has to pay $70.
Well.
Shouldn't Granny get a plan so that she can just, she doesn't have to pay so much?
Granny, for postpaid, it should be like that. For prepaid, she can go on prepaid and pay whatever she wants.
Oh, okay, prepaid. Okay.
That's how I like it to happen.
So when she's on the toilet watching her favorite stuff on YouTube, she should be able to have plenty of gigabytes for that, right?
On prepaid, sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I think she's done. All right, what about true QCI, network priority, and upcoming network slicing for T-Mobile? Do you think this network slicing is going to be very important when they do get a real standalone? And what do you think about the QCI? Do you think it's a mistake to have QCI set for speed test apps and software to make it look like they're really good and fast and reliable when they're really not? What do you think?
So for the network slicing or priority, that will come more into play when the more spectrum is deployed, right, after the auctions, right? So that will come into effect, as well as with the 5G standalone core once that's done. The QCI is the same thing. That'll be managed when 5G core is done. You have
real standalone comes
yeah,
out.
you have true QCI that way. Right, so
that's awesome. Real standalone coming to T-Mobile soon in a couple years. That is awesome. That's right. How's that? Okay, everybody. So we have finished the list. So what you guys think in the comments? What do you think? Did we miss something? Is there something that you see there that we all missed that you want to add? So type it in there real quick if you think we missed something or you want to talk about here. And let's close out the poll. Let's get that going here. The poll. So there we go. And the poll. Okay. See what the results are. All right. Let's see. We'll add it in the comments here. Let's see. It's kind of slow. Oh, does the poll results come in the comments? I can't click on it, can I?
I think it does.
Maybe it's just slow. I don't see it yet. Well, you guys can see it. You guys look in the chat. If T-Mobile had a better leadership and started doing things right, what chance do they have to succeed? 62% of you say they got a 75 to 100% chance. So this is pretty amazing. And then a 50 to 75% chance, 15% of you said. And then 0 to 25% chance of making it. And they will fail 15%. Wow. 15% of you think they're going to fail. Wow. And then 6% says there's a 25 to 50% chance that they're going to make it. So this is kind of interesting numbers here. Very, very interesting. That's kind of crazy how that poll happened.
You forgot that Comcast merger that might happen.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. I didn't even add that in there because I think that's I think that's straight up. That's what I think. Yeah. Yep. That's what I think anyways. The good old crickets. Danger. T-Mobile and Comcast merging together. Danger. That's right. Why is the cricket still going on? Oh, you got to click it. See, some of these sounds you have to click it again for it to stop. Some of them are just a short play. It plays it and then stops. And then some of them just keeps playing and playing and playing and playing. That's kind of crazy. All right, so there we go. So nobody typed any questions or in there. So no comments or questions. So, but we've been on here for like an hour and 40 minutes. And of course, I am hungry. So I'm ready to make me some food. So I got up at 5 o'clock today. So, but yeah, everything is doing good in the tech world. So glad I was able to bring this to you. So hopefully my viewers will appreciate me being a very, very good boy with the T-Mobile subject. I think I was very good tonight. What do you think, Zero Cool? Do you think I was really, really good tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think we presented the viewpoints of what we kind of wanted to get across, and SMT, you are trying to articulate it.
Yep. I tried to make sure I stayed optimistic and just strictly up factual, and I tried not to put anything crazy and because I could have easily said FT Mobile like 3 times during this live stream, but I didn't. So I thought that was pretty good. So I think I'll be okay. I'm not going to get
fired.
I don't think I'll get fired from my viewers. I don't think they're going to fire me. I think they may keep me for another day. So that's good. So that's good. So maybe I'll make some more cash on YouTube if I keep doing things right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. So Band 26 MS wants to know, what about Band 26? Well, I can tell you all about Band 26. It's garbage. It's a small, dinky little sliver of low band, which is old LTE technology. It's no good for nothing. I mean, it's pointless. And besides, Band 26 was handed over to Dish. So Dish is using it. So they threw it in the mix of their network. So actually, Dish is using Band 26. Oh, they haven't bought it. I thought that was part of the merger deal.
It was, but they have to buy that spectrum, so they haven't bought it yet.
Because they're already deploying it, right? Isn't Dish
No.
Band 26 live in
No,
the whole country? That's not the. I swore that they used it.
no,
So they're not gonna buy it. They're
No.
gonna just forget about it.
maybe.
Is there any Band 26 on Sprint sites still?
Yeah.
What percentage of the country you think 26 is still on?
Oh, I don't know. To be honest,
50%
I don't.
of
I'm
the
not sure.
50% of the 62% of their coverage.
No, I'm not sure.
So what do you think about Band 26? Garbage or not garbage?
It's great for voice calling. That's about it.
Oh, okay. There you go. It's pretty much poop, right? All right, Michael says you were fair with T-Mobile tonight. Oh, I appreciate that. So I try to, I don't want to be magenta foaming out of my mouth on the couch. But then again, I don't want to be called a hater either. So I know I'm very tough on T-Mobile. So, but I do have high hopes for them, and I hope that they can get their act together. And never know, maybe Neville the Pebble and Mr. Sievert. So if any of you T-Mobile fans out there enjoyed this live stream and you think that we had some pretty good points in here about how they can improve things, share this with Twitter, because I'm probably still blocked by T-Mobile. I don't know if I am or not, but yeah, share this with Neville the Pebble and Mike Sievert. Share it like crazy. So maybe they'll watch this live stream and they'll say, oh, wow, that's pretty interesting how, they was very constructive about the company and everything. And I mean, sure, we could have easily did a live stream and just cut up and just do a straight up hate fest on T-Mobile, which, but I'm trying to be better than that. I'm trying to, have a very optimistic view on everything and give them a benefit of the doubt, and hot cakes and potato cakes and pancakes and spicy takes. And with that being said, and fact of the matter is, and to be honest, and what else can I say? I don't know. I don't like using all those filler words anyways. I just talk straight up. So anyways, pretty good show here. Oh, here, I missed a comment here. Will T-Mobile get the 800 meg spectrum Sprint if Dish does not buy it? Well, yeah, they still own it, right?
I don't know if they'll be forced to sell it. I think that's what they have to do. They might have to just sell it, or they have to go back to the FCC. So.
Oh, okay.
That's how that works.
Well, you know what I think should
sell it, and then if they can't sell it,
yeah,
then go back to the FCC.
You know what I think should happen to it? I think it should be sold off to all the public safety providers in the United States that has, county systems, statewide systems, all that. Give them that spectrum so they can add those frequencies in, so that the trunked radio system, the P25 systems, can get some extra capacity. Because right now, a lot of these systems are up to capacity, and if you get like a major incident or something going on where you have hundreds of officers on scene, if you only have 4 repeaters up, and what happens if 5 officers key up at the same time?
Yeah, you leave one officer.
You're going to get somebody's getting a busy signal. And there was a perfect incident that when you had the incident out in, where was that at? Valdez, or I don't want to say the S word, on here, but the major incident out there that happened. Many times when I was watching the body cam footage, the chief was trying to talk, and every time he keyed the mic up, beep, 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 chirp, he got through. And that's uncalled for. Public safety should not have that. I think the FCC should force that little spectrum, 5 megahertz of spectrum, which would be lots of frequencies for public safety, because they use narrowband stuff, especially if they use it with the new P25 phase 2, which is TDMA, and it's only 6.2 kilohertz channel. So you can take a 12.5 channel, split it in half, time slot 1, time slot 2, which is what phase 2 P25 radio system is. One repeater would have 2 talk groups on it at the same time. So it would make that phase 2 doubles the capacity, but then when you add in 3 or 4 more repeater frequencies in there, which would probably be more than that if you're not sharing it with nobody else, like here in the Keys, they could probably add like 10 repeaters, and then do the time slot deal, the phase 2, and then now you have 20 extra talk groups or 20 more channels that you can use on your system. And I think that would greatly enhance everything. So that's my take. That's my hot cake take on that. Pancake, hot cake. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think that'd be nice for the public safety agencies to have. I love that idea.
Yep, I think that's what should happen. I think the FCC should be pushing for that already. I think they should already be saying that, saying, hey, the FCC should say, hey, we're just going to buy back Band 26. We're going to buy it back, and then we're going to turn around and sell it off. We're going to auction it off to public safety. Better yet, just give it to them. It's not like they need the damn money anyways, you know. If they got $500 million, they could send out to another country for stupid things. I think they should be able to just take that spectrum and just give it to public safety because they don't need the money.
Yeah, definitely.
I wonder if they should move to cellular push to talk. That's an interesting question because guess what? That is already being worked on, and that's already being integrated because all the public safety systems, Motorola is the leader right now. They have a new APX radio it's a multi-band radio and it has LTE in it. So guess what you can do with that radio? If the tower's busy, it can connect to LTE and then use push to talk over cellular. It goes to the servers and it bonds that right into the channel and then puts it out over the system. So then you'll have more capacity. So, and the radio can do like all 3 frequencies. It can do low band, well, not low band, VHF, UHF, and then the 700, 800 megahertz band plus LTE. So it has 4 different bands it can pick from. So yeah, that's already in the works. There's some departments that's already using that. Of course, the radios are expensive. They're like 10 grand a piece. You know, you think amateur radio equipment's expensive? Holy crap!
Yeah,
that
I've seen those in action before. It's really good actually.
Oh yeah, it's pretty good stuff. All right, so any last questions, anybody? Still got 23 people watching here. We've been on here for an hour and 50 minutes. So we're going to be on here for 10 more minutes. So post your questions. Good questions coming up here. Very, very good. Very good questions. And then if there's anything else you want to talk about, I know SMT's live stream, you guys talked about a bunch of good stuff there earlier. So pretty much hit all the topics today. The big Samsung deal is going on, all that stuff. So I think I'm going to trade in my watch. I'm going to see what they're going to give me trade in for my watch 4. And I may trade it in and get me a watch 5. So I'm going to see. If it's only like a couple $100 out to pay for an upgrade, I may just do that. So because the battery life is supposed to be better, the sensors are better. So yeah, all kinds of improvements. So, but I'm going to see. But if it's going to cost me $300 or $400 to upgrade with the trade in, they don't give me very much. I'm just going to keep this until later, till the price comes down. Then we'll see what happens. So, here we go. Just coming in. Did we get a 5-minute positive segment? I'll go back and watch. Yeah, everybody make sure they watch the replay. Yeah, I think I did a pretty good job. Yeah, so far I'm getting some positive feedback. So, yeah, Ricky's actually able to talk positive about T-Mobile. So that's pretty good. Yep, till the lightning strikes me tomorrow. Oh, shit. Look out. Ricky's going to get struck by lightning tomorrow. All right. So, what do you think, Zero Cool? Anything else in the tech world you want to talk about before we wrap this show up here for the week?
No, man. I think I'm good.
Oh, you're good. Okay. Time for some scalps?
Yeah. Always.
Heck yeah. How do you feel about the removal of the signature physical bezel? Yeah, well, I didn't care about the bezel anymore. I got the plain old, I just got the plain old, the bezel really didn't matter to me. And you say you like the sound effects. Well, thank you so much. That's awesome. Yeah, I bought the soundboard plug-in for my new computer because it's able to do it. So I said, why not? Why not go ahead and get it? It's like $11 for 3 months. And I said, yeah, why not? So I went ahead and purchased it. So it's got more than just the sound effects. It has the, voice enhancer, which I got enabled. So it actually brings your your bass up more, your mids and treble. So it kind of tweaks your voice, makes you sound more of a, a talk show person or studio quality, all that kind of stuff. So I'm glad you like it and very, very happy with it so far. I can even make a skunk ape sound. Yeah, see there? Well, that's really a walrus, but it kind of sounds like a skunk ape. It sounds like a skunk ape that's trying to eat a tower there. So yeah, for sure. But that's good. Yeah, we even got the burp. Get the burp. Got the cash register. Got the crickets. Got danger. Yep, got that. So, any chance, Caleb, when Band 71 only sites might get some N41 or even Band 2? You talking about N2? I guess that's what you're talking about.
I mean, yeah, it's coming. It's got to be patient.
Yeah, it's coming. It's a-coming. Wonder if we'll see T-Mobile dethrone AT&T or Verizon on the number 1 or 2 spot. Interesting question. I don't think it's going to happen. If anything happens, I think they will be just licking their heels as they're running and farting. Yes. Trying to catch up to AT&T and Verizon. You got to remember, 200 megahertz of N77 is going to be hard to beat. I mean, I'm telling you. And Verizon knows how to optimize a network. Look what they're doing with 30 megahertz. Can you imagine what they're going to do when they get 200 megahertz? And you already see what they're doing with 600 to 800 megahertz of millimeter wave. You already see what they're doing. So I don't think so. But I think T-Mobile will be able to finally be classified as a carrier. Yeah, I know. I just said that. It's like, what did Ricky just say? What did he say? What? Did he just say that T-Mobile's going to become a carrier? Yeah, it's very possible. If all the things we just talked about on tonight's live stream will come true. So time will tell. And good people like Caleb working very hard, it may just happen, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
I hope so. Nowhere before 10 or 5 to 10 years if at all. Oh, shit. That's if you can access it. Yeah, for sure. All right. So let's see. Anything else we got to talk about? Any more hotcakes, pancakes? Oh, that's funny. Nurse, there's a skeeter in my room. Nurse, come kill the skeeter, please. There you go. How you like that one? Was that pretty good? Oh, look, we got Josh in the house. Up there. Hi, Josh. How you doing, buddy? MS, you guys did a good show. Thanks. Oh, well, thank you so much for the super chat there, MS. $2.71. We'll add that to the piggy bank. After YouTube takes their share, I probably should get about $1.71 out of it. We'll add that to the kitty. Oh yeah, I just broke $100 on ad revenue for my channel so far, so that's good. So hopefully I'll get paid that $100 by the end of this month. I think after the 21st is when they say they pay that out. So if that gets dumped in my bank account, that'll be good, because that $100 of ad revenue will help pay for my StreamYard and all that stuff. I got a new camera coming too. I got a 4K camera coming for. I'm gonna get rid of this Nexigo. The Nexigo must go. So, Nexigo, you got to go. You're out of here, Nexigo. I'm going to flush you down the toilet. You're out of here. Nexigo, garbage. So, this new mod, I looked at the price. They're selling it for like $180 for this 4K camera. I managed to find it on eBay for $45. And it's an open box. So, it's not even used. It's just somebody opened up the box, and then they tore it up, and I guess they returned it and said, no, I don't want it. Because they found out you have to have a USB-C cable to use 4K on it. Because the USB-A doesn't have enough bit rate to run it. So that's the trick with this camera. So a lot of people are buying it, and they don't even have a USB-C port in their computer. But guess what? Ricky has a USB-C port down here. 3.2 USB-C Type 2 port. And you know what that runs? That's right. 10 gigabits is what the the line speed is on that cable. So it will run that 4K camera with ease. So I'm loving this new gaming computer. It's a very nice computer. It's so fast. The 4K monitor looks beautiful. I'm going to get a second 4K monitor later on. My next purchase, though, I think I'm going to get me my MR920. I think I'm going to get that. That's my new service weapon, I should say, for work and, off-duty carry. So, and I'm going to get that. So that's going to be my next project. And then after that, we'll see. Probably buy some more amateur radio stuff. But I'm done with all the computer stuff. I got the computer, got the monitor. We'll get a 4K monitor later on. I mean, this 1080p, the old one is good. The 4K is good for now. I can play my game on it. It's beautiful. It works really good. Got plenty of storage now for my drone videos. Whenever DJI fixes so I can use my Android 13 beta on my drone for the app so I can fly it, then we'll do that. And I'm going to check out also for Google Fi. I'm going to probably see if they'll let me get a Google Fi phone and make payments on it and get me another S22 Ultra with Google Fi and do it. And I might go out here and test old T-Mobile here. We'll do some testing on these new Ericsson panels they just put up on N41 down here in the Keys. So as you see in my past drone videos, I have that one site that I did a video on that has an Ericsson N41 on it. And I'm sure it's going to be working better than the other stuff there is. So yeah, everything is doing good. Loving the keyboard. I still got the old mouse though, but this is a gaming mouse. It's about 2 years old, but it still works. So why replace it if it still works? So, but the keyboard, I wore the keyboard out. You couldn't even see the letters on it. And, with me being here in a nursing home, my eyesight's not too good either. So I look down at the keys. I can't even see the keys hardly. So now I got a lighted keyboard here now. So now, yeah, baby, look at that. Yeah, I got the new Corsair K70 Pro, I think it is called. Yeah, K70 Pro. Yeah, very nice keyboard. It's a gaming keyboard. It's very good. So I got that. So now I can see when I'm typing now. So I can see. Before I couldn't see because I'm so old and crepited and stuff. So yeah, I know because I even sound like an old I sound like an old geezer too because that's all I do is just cough and hack and cough. So yeah. That's about it there. Let's see, we've got more questions here. Can you do a live stream about AT&T? Well, sure, we can do a live stream about AT&T. Are you talking about the top 10 things that AT&T can do better? Kind of like I just did for... Yeah. What do you think, Zirkle? Do you think that would be pretty cool?
No, yeah, it would. Be a good stream.
There may not be much to talk about other than their crappy customer service. That's the biggest problem they have, but I'm sure we can probably make a topic out of that. Maybe we'll just do that with all three carriers. Well, we can't really do Dish yet because not really a full carrier just yet, but yeah, maybe we'll do that. We'll make another topic up for AT&T and do the same thing, and maybe we'll do the same thing with Verizon, what they can do better. Of course, whatever we're all going to say, lower the prices, do the upgrades. Of course, they're already doing the upgrades, so yeah, and Verizon, yeah, exactly. Just getting home from work. Oh, okay. Good to see you, Josh. I am dumbfounded. Verizon has not made any changes to address the customer losses. I wonder how many quarter of losses before the board of directors replace the CEO. I don't know. That's kind of interesting to see what happens with that. So, is that compatible with Thunderbolt 3 ports? I don't know. I don't even know what a Thunderbolt 3 port is. Is that kind of like a mini display port or something like that? Or I don't know. I don't know what a Thunderbolt port is. But it's USB-C is what it is. And my keyboard's even USB-C, which is pretty good. Let's see. Google Fi just became a good deal with it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, with the unlimited 50 gigabits and 4 extra data SIMs. Also, they are doing something to their website tonight with the Samsung sale. You should check it out tomorrow. Okay, yep, I'll definitely check that out. So, yeah, so I think I will test out Skunky again and see what happens. So you never know. Maybe the skunk apes haven't ate up all the towers yet, maybe, possibly. So that's very possible. So we'll have to see what happens. I don't know. I do hear a lot of burping going on. So burping up that fiber, and of course, you eat too much fiber, you know what happens too. You start, Oh shit, the skunk. Of course, the skunk apes don't have access to toilets, but oh well. It sounded good anyways, right? Is AT&T surpassed Verizon in coverage? No, they haven't. Not yet. No, I do not think they have, but they're far behind. Okay, so I'll have to look this up and see if we got any current stats with this. But the last check was Verizon is at 71% of the U.S. population. Now, we're not talking about land. We're just talking about populated U.S. areas. This includes highways and houses and businesses. 71%. AT&T just hit 70%. They was at 69.8%, but they built a lot of towers this year already so far. So now they're at 70, easily 70%, maybe 70.3%. T-Mobile was still at 62%. Now, I don't know if they've bumped up another percent to 63, but even if they did go up to 65, they're still way behind the other two as far as actual, the amount of towers and stuff. So they have a lot of work to get done. So now in the urban areas, they're doing pretty good on build outs. There's still a lot of holes in the network though. There's still a lot of gaps and stuff. If it wasn't for N71, I do say that T-Mobile would be in very, very, very bad shape right now. So it's not a very capacity band. It's fake 5G, but it does give people service. It does give them phone calls, and it does help out. So that's right. Ricky just said that. Look out. What the heck is Ricky thinking? Why did he say that? Oh my God. Yeah. Now I'm going to get struck by lightning tomorrow for talking good about T-Mobile. All right. So here we go. 2 hours and 4 minutes. Thank you, Zero Cool. Thank you, SMT, you big YouTuber. Thank you for coming on the channel and giving us your very valuable opinion. So I think it was a pretty good episode. Hopefully everybody enjoyed it. So we'll say good night to all. And we're going to play you a little bit of drone video, of course, as we close out the show here. So enjoy the drone video. More coming as soon as I can use my Android 13 beta on my drone. I'll go out and make some. We've been having a lot of African dust, so it's making the skies hazy, a lot of clouds, a lot of thunderstorms. So I haven't been flying too much anyways because of that. I like blue sky days with no African dust. It makes the best pictures. I mean, look at the picture behind me. Look behind me. So that was on a blue sky day with no African dust. So look how beautiful that was. So I want to get some good flying because I don't want to fly around a tower with it all hazy and, gooky and nasty and all that stuff. So we don't want to do that. Nope. All right. So have a good night. See you guys next week. Remember, share this channel like crazy. Get me up to 1,200 subs. We'll do a giveaway next week. Next Wednesday night, we hit 1,200 subs. I'm giving away $50 cash. Remember, you got to subscribe right now because it's 6 days before. So you got to subscribe today to be in next week's drawing. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Watch my old content. The more content you watch, the more money I'll make on ads. So just play my videos in the background while you're cleaning the house or whatever. You can even mute me. You don't even have to listen to me. Just run it in the background for a couple hours on the live stream. That'll cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Yeah, that sound. Make me some money. So, and the other way you could do it is a PayPal. You see the PayPal link on the bottom. You can become a channel member and support, and you can do super chats. And thank you tonight for the 2 super chats I got tonight. Thank you very much. It's very, very, very appreciated. Thank you so much. Oh, trying to unclick the comment here. There. Have a good evening. See you later. 2 Live Crew. Oh yeah, don't forget all the hashtags. So put your hashtags in there while you're watching the drone video. Thank you, Zero Cool. Have a good night. Stay safe, buddy. And we'll see you. Enjoy the drone video. That's right.
Yo, Ricky.
Yo, yo, yo.
Hey, I need to talk to you about you have Android 13 on your Samsung?
Do I have what?
Do you have Android 13?
Yeah, the beta, Android 13 beta on my phone. Yeah.
Nice. Go
Sure
ahead
do.
and cancel. Go ahead and cancel the live stream. Real quick.
The what?
Go ahead and cancel the live. We're still live.